Welcome, blessed souls. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, Lightworkers. I feel like this is a special episode for the Lightworkers. And I don't use that mildly either. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. You know what I'm talking about. So we have a lot to talk about today. I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going to read some notes that Spirit gave me. We've got a lot of homework. I don't know if you guys can see that. We got a lot of homework, and check in the community section. I'll be putting pictures of the cards that we're working with. We also got this really awesome health spell, which I'll just show it to you guys now so you can see it. And it is a blessing bath. So this will be in the community section. I will take a picture of this part. You'll know it's the healing spell, and it's for us, for self-care. You know how I talk about self-care September? It's really the weather's all over the place. My hair's all over the place. Self-care September. I had a breakthrough, and I realized that we really do move in cycles, and it's like every other month we have like where we're up in a like yay 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 yay, and then we're kind of in a low 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 low, and then we're in a yay 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 and low 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 low. So interestingly enough, in real time, today is November 9th, 2023, and it's like self-care September, except for it's November. I don't know, we'll have to think of something clever. Maybe Spirit will give me something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be in the title. I have no idea what the title is yet. That's what's so fun. There's so many things in here that could be the title, that whatever the title is I know it's going to be awesome. So I'm channeling a lot of energies. I'm talking to Spirit, and so much came through to me today in music and song, as it does. We are working with angel number 1313. Music wise, O come all ye faithful, which is also O come, Emmanuel. And that's like a whole other thing. We have Kelly Clarkson's Mine, and also Higher Road from Kelly Clarkson came through. Janis Joplin came through today as well. I don't know if they're going to have me talk about that, or if it's just for somebody to find Janis Joplin for the first time, or maybe you need to get back to Janis Joplin, or maybe you've always heard of her but you don't really know her stuff. Because this song was like, I've been singing it and all of a sudden it's just blank, gone. So it means like her catalog's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to say an album. I mean, they're all, anyway, we'll leave it there. Beautiful pearl. I'm just gonna leave that there. Drop that little pearl. Yeah, a lot came through. Anything else, Spirit, you want me to bring up right now before we start pulling the cards? I'm hearing Tiffany or Stephanie, or maybe it's both. I don't know if they're spirit guides or actual people, or maybe that's you. I'm feeling a grandmother energy. I'm feeling like my third eye is blocked. And it could be that somebody of that name is blocking your third eye or your intuition. Yeah, this is really intense. Okay, I had no idea we were going here, but this is really intense. So, if it's not for you, let it fly by. Sometimes I watch readings and I could tell it's not mine. And I'm like, I'll say to Spirit, do I need to hang on? They'll be like, yeah, something else is coming up. Or they'll be like, no, you got what you needed. So I think sometimes we get too into these readings, and, it's like we really have to take things for what's for us. So don't claim something that's not yours. Don't trigger or bring things up that's not yours and start internal war. So I'm getting like this very self-care hermit mode, very Virgo energy for the whole month of September. I feel like even for some of you who love Thanksgiving in America or in other countries, whenever you celebrate, we have different Thanksgivings at different times. Gratitude Day, I call it. Anyway, with that being said, I'm hearing like, don't force yourself to go anywhere or do anything that you don't want to do. That's really imperative and really important. I just realized, I'm like, why is my hand on my it feels very authoritative, and maybe this is somebody who talks to you like this. I'm not opening my eyes. I feel like I'm not meant to. But I feel like somebody talks to you like this, or I feel like maybe you're talking to people like this, or there's just this energy that's going on right now, and it's very like mine, mine, mine. But interestingly enough, the Kelly Clarkson song, Mine, she talks about stealing her shine. That she is sad that she allowed this person to steal her shine. That they wanted her to change and be somebody else. And Spirit's saying, no. And we don't want to use people. She talks about that in the song too. There's so much going on. There's so much beauty. There's so much awesomeness. Taylor Swift's new song came through too. It's one of the 1989 Vault songs. I don't remember the title now. I'll read it to you guys. I think it's Say It Isn't So or something, but I only listened to it once. It came on and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I feel like that song is going to resonate differently with everybody. All of this music that I'm bringing to you is literally just Spirit speaking to you, saying like, this is, your medicine if it aligns with you. You may just want to hear it and be like, oh cool, I didn't even know she had a new album out, or I didn't know, blah, 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 and listen to it. I don't want to put any more around those energies because there are so many people that watch these. And even if 5 people watch it, all 5 fucking people are going to have a completely different experience. We can all hear the exact same song and have a completely different attachment to it. And so thank you. I feel like that was kind of like an old ancestor witch, because part of this is the ancestors past and present. But thank you, because I felt like, oh, they said I can open my eyes. Oh, good. Have you ever seen, oh my gosh, the movie with Steve Carell and Paul Rudd with the mice? And yeah, anyway, when he's like, and I release you, that's what it felt like. I felt like somebody was like almost like holding me hostage in a way, but not like against my will, more like they're like using my body. I love being a channel and a medium. It's fun. So with that being said, there's so much that's happening. I know I say this often because it's true. And I've been having these massive breakthroughs that I don't know yet if they are breakthroughs or not. All I can tell you is that we are 2 days from the 1111 portal. And if you don't know what the 1111 portal is, please research it. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to research it. Whenever you watch this, it's always, when you're meant to see it, right? But if you get to see this, I'm going to do my best. I'm pretty sure they're going to have me post this today. On the 1111 portal, do not work. Eat lightly. Like for the next 2 or 3 days, I'm just going to eat really, really lightly. I'm seeing the number 23 again, so I don't know who that's for. Who's ever keeps seeing that number, or maybe it's 32, like it's a mirror of 23. Either way, it's 5. And 5s are change and transformation, and we are about to go through a massive, it's kind of like the angelic new year, so to speak, the 1111 portal. And I like to have Spirit lead me to some things for you to research on your own. So I'll attach some articles, anything they want me to attach, I'll put in the comment section, or I will put in the description box. Sometimes they have me put it in both. Just so that you can follow those links and research it for yourself further. But I did read something, they had me read something where they were showing like the 1111, but just showing how 11 itself is it's like a doorway, right? Like it's a gateway. So think of it like that. The 1111 portal is a gateway. It's a time for us to download new light codes. And as light workers, this is a really important, special time. So keep your body and your avatar as clean as possible. No refined sugars, no processed foods, no, nothing that just as earthy as possible, fruits and vegetables, nuts, and as healthy or natural, organic as possible. Those kind of things, whatever works for your body. We've really been drawn to beets and potatoes and, almonds and things like that. So whatever works for you is what works for you. Okay. And, for us, vegan feels good, but I don't like to tell anybody what is good for their body. I can only tell you what's good for mine or what works for mine. So, yeah. So, with that being said, they're having me jump back in. So, here we are. We're at the end of the last eclipse season of 2023. And it's been one fucking hell of a ride, man. It's been one hell of a ride. We are still in Scorpio season. You know, we're going to have the new moon in Scorpio in just a few days. I mean, it's like we're having interesting. I find this so interesting, and I don't know about you guys, feel free to comment below, but I feel like it's so interesting that at the end of the eclipse season, we're having this massive 1111 portal. I mean, it's kind of, and it's funny because my husband and I have been married 3 years, but we've been together 8, and 8 plus 3 is 11. So our anniversary is 11/11. So it's very interesting. And I think this year it's 11/11 because it's 11/11 2023 and 2023 is 7. Yeah, it's 11. So it's an 11 for us. So this is going to be really powerful. I was like, you know, I know we're not supposed to work. I go, I can feel that. And so this will probably be my last transmission, so to speak. They may have me post little things here and there, but I may not post anything for like days. I don't know. They'll maybe have me put it on a timer. But either way, this is just a really, really good time to connect with yourself and spirit and to take care of yourself. So in this rest and restore energy at the 8th moon phase and the waning crescent energy, we're the last and the end of this moon, we're having this 11/11 portal while we're also at the end of an eclipse season right before the new moon goes into Scorpio. I mean, and then I'm sure there's other astrological things that are going on that they didn't have me write down, but I know are big, right? So I feel like light workers are really feeling like we're like being like stuffed through, you know, a fucking small tube, you know. It's like we're like, what is happening? But it is for our greatest and highest good, and it is for our elevation. And this is where this is kind of the shit or get off the pot time. I know that's like, you know, I only say that because if you're part of this tribe, like you can handle that. Like when spirit says certain things, they know you can handle it. So, you know, listen to Mine by Kelly Clarkson. Just sit down and listen to it. It's new. It's off one of her new albums. She talks about karma in there. And I feel like we are in a very heavy karmic cycle. One thing that came up that blew the lid off my noggin was I've been seeing all these things recently where people are like, you know, Jesus is the reason for the season, like, and people really fight each other and get really angry about it. And, you know, they're like, when did it, you know, become about commercialism? It's supposed to be, you know, about, you know, God and Jesus and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but same thing though. When did it become about let's go buy shit for Jesus' birthday? That's like the last thing Jesus would want. If you understood the real Jesus energy, you'd know that Jesus is like, he's a carpenter, right? He wasn't a rich man. He didn't die a rich man in the terms of like the human third dimensional, what constitutes wealth, right? To him, my altar, to the goddess mother energy, to flame, to fire, to light the way for his love, essence, energy to come here, that's a gift. That's what he wants. He wants us to love ourselves. He wants us to take care of ourselves. He doesn't want us to go out and fucking spend money and put ourselves in hock for that. The money issue has been coming up a lot. I just posted the coolest little money spell short. It's beautiful with Olivia Newton-John. I'll just leave it there on the Magical Medium. So go check that out. It's in my shorts. But yeah, there's just some beautiful, wonderful, magical things happening right now. And it's like, I feel like she's like, come take my hand. She's like, you have to believe we are magic. So light workers, we cannot live in any victim, any, you know, blah, 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 nothing. We must believe. So right now we're in the rest and restore phase. November is a rest and restore energy, right? So they're saying, you know, because when December comes around, a lot of us, I know in our tribe, we have birthdays. I actually honestly feel like once Sagittarius season rushes in, we're going to feel a lot better. I really do. But I feel like it's, you know, December is going to be super fun. But also remember that Mercury is going retrograde on December 13th and we'll be in the shadow of it. So I feel like we'll have kind of like this gleam at the end of November of like, yay, you know, like bursting into December, but then they're December. But I've been doing that a lot lately. It's almost like my brain can't keep up with my human avatar mouth. It's because when I feel that, I feel spirit through me, you know, it's real, like I really do. And it's like, I'm grounded as fuck and I've got shit around me, but it's like, it's because you guys are really powerful too. We're just, you know, wherever two or more gather, right? We take the high road. And that's part of it too, is I'm going to segue, we're going to kind of segue back and forth in some of these things. Another one of Kelly Clarkson's songs off the same album is The High Road. And a lot of us tend to take the high road because we're just like, we know it's not worth the fight. It's not worth the bullshit. It's just like, let's fucking leave it be, man. Just leave it be. You know? Just let people, we cannot change anyone. Only we can change ourselves. And when we start changing, it's awesome. And it's very, very addictive because we want everybody to feel as good as we do, right? You know? Right? When you quit smoking or you lose weight or you do something you didn't think you could do, and then you feel really powerful because you did this thing, right? I'm speaking from personal experience. Those are my things. You know, things that I remember people are like, yeah, watch, she'll quit, she'll start drinking again or whatever. And I'm like, no, I won't. Like, you didn't know me then and you don't know me now. Don't project onto me what you don't believe you can do yourself. You know? We're all going to have high days and low days, and that's normal. That's why it's in black and white. We're back in black and white because we need that balance, right? But we also need the proof of color. But sometimes we got to take it slow. We don't have the energy. So if you don't have the energy, if you're not in fucking Technicolor, don't bring yourself to this drained, no color whatsoever because you just keep giving, because you keep taking the high road. Sometimes you have to be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And you can just stand and you know, I do feel like a lot of us are getting to the point where we're like, nope, that's not going to happen, or that's not, you know, I know I've been doing that, but we also have to do it with love because that Scorpio energy is kind of like really bringing it out, right? And if you're anything like myself, you know, empathic, and you can easily take on other energies, remember that we have to keep smudging, you know, taking care of ourselves. You know, I put my clothes like outside almost every day for like wind baths and like, you know, when I'm not washing them in between, just because he's going places, I'm doing things, we're going places, and it's like, you know, it's not dirty. The clothes aren't dirty, you know, but I'm like, I don't want that energy on them. So I make sure, you know, I see the wind coming and I go and I put the clothes out there and I get a good wind bath and I thank spirit and I thank the elements. The more connected I'm getting back to earth, the less I really truly need. But there's a limit. There is also a limit where I'm like, okay, you know what? I've taken the high road for a really long time. Now we're going to do it this way because this is what works for me. I tried doing it your way. It wasn't working. Or it may be a situation where you realize you just need to step away altogether. And this is like a blanket message that whoever you thought of, whatever situation came up for you, that's what you're still needing to look at and work with while we squeeze out these last few days of the eclipse energy, because that's what it is. It's about going into that shadow and the darkness and looking at ourselves and saying, are you looking at that with love? Are you looking at that with fucking, you know, whatever it is you need? Whatever it is, that darkness, that shadow that wants to come out, that wants to be seen. The Scorpio energy gives us that gift to do that. But that doesn't mean that we go around with our little fucking stinger hurting people. So we bring it in. And we work inward. We go inward. We work with spirit. We work on our own shit. Because we all have free will here. Recently, I got really upset about something, and my husband was so awesome. And he just turned around and said it in just only the way he could. And he's like, and I'm paraphrasing because I wish I remembered it, but he took me so off guard that I'm like, I couldn't tell you even now, like what exactly he said. All I know is he was just like, because you take away their free will. And I was like, yeah, baby. I'm like, that was fucking awesome. It was just the way he said it too. Like, it was like in such a beautiful shamanic, you know, teacher way, you know, no emotion around it. And, you know, right now we're really tangled up in our emotions. Scorpio energy is very emotional, and we're about to hit a Scorpio fucking new moon. So with that being said, it's like we're at the end of a shadow, but we're about to walk through this awesome portal, but then we go into the new moon in Scorpio, and I feel like that's what they're trying to say. They're like, leave behind certain things, leave behind that which really no longer serves you. It is a great little catchphrase because it's true, especially if you mean it. If you don't mean it, it's just like, you know, you're like, light and love, you know what I mean? It's like, but somebody walks away and you're like, oh, she really irritated me today. You know what I mean? It's not really light and love, is it? That's not really light and love. Because you just be like, I mean, I've had times where people leave my presence where I'm like, okay, let's go cleanse my energy, you know, but there were times before when I'd be like, oh, look what they did to me. It's like, no, they didn't do anything to me, and now they're gone, and I'm just going to cleanse that energy, and I'm going to move forward. Simple as that. No emotion, because most people don't even know what the fuck they're doing, not on purpose. And even if they are, they're working through some dark shadow or whatever, but that's not who they are at their core. But it doesn't mean that you have to be around them or cater to them, you know. Their inner children are running amok right now. You know, there's a lot to be said for what's happening on the energy, or in the energy. So, but karma, Spirit said this is a retrospective as we start to wrap up eclipse season. Also, they had me pull some cards, so I'm going to do a little separate video for it. I don't know. We are going to pull, or I've already pulled 3 cards. I know what they are. Also, the little healing spell. I'll put the cards in the community section, but I feel like they want me to do these separate. I just looked at the time, and they're like, don't rush. So like, you can do this later. So we've got the healing spells, and it's a little blessing bath, and I'll put that there, and then we'll go over these other cards, or maybe they'll have me read the blessing spell. I don't know. Either way, look for the screenshots of it in the community section, okay? So you can work further with that energy. So they had me write it in a certain way, and now to kind of have like a summation of this episode, they're going to have me read it from the beginning to the end. So I'm kind of excited too. I don't know how this is going to go. Lightworkers. O come all ye faithful, past and present ancestors. Rest and restore energy. A retrospective as we start to wrap up eclipse season. Karma. Mine. Kelly Clarkson. No more quote unquote shine stealing. Time to get your spark back. The number 8 is about infinity. Say, don't go. 1989 album. Taylor Swift from the vault. Angel number 1313. I know. Jesus' birthday is the rebirth day. Is December 25th, 2023. The first Noel. The high road. And through this 1111 portal, it says, I wrote us for 3 years, like for he and I, but I heard in the next 3 years, us as a group, as a collective, as the Lightworkers are going to, like, what's going to come through over the next 3 years, over the next 3 1111 portals is going to lay the foundation for the new earth, where the 3rd dimensional energy will be almost non-existent. And because a lot of us have time fucking changed, I've been hearing this. Here's the crazy part. I've been seeing this and hearing this all over, that I jumped like ahead. I jumped dimensions. I jumped ahead of schedule, basically. And then I hadn't said anything to my husband about it. And we were talking about things. And I said, dude, you know how I've been feeling like uncomfortable and like in pain, and like I haven't been able to really talk to people or be around people for months. And he's like, yeah. I go, I feel like I've been like preparing for something, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then it was so crazy because he said the same thing. And I was like, what is happening right now? So there is a massive, major shift that is taking place. So, Rooster Feather came in. So work with the Rooster Spirit Medicine. Let your freak flag fly. Be who you are. Use this opportunity to regroup, to sit with Spirit. Don't let anybody steal your shine. Because in the song, she's like, go ahead and break my heart, that's fine. I think something like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. She's like, she says, I hope someday that somebody breaks your heart like you did mine. But she says something about stealing her shine like you did mine. She said something like, I hope somebody steals your shine like you did mine, or something. And it's just like, it guts you. It guts you. It really does. Because, you know, there are so many people right now that don't want to deal with their own shit. So they're putting the fairies. Did you see the fairies flying around? So work with the fairy magic. And they're here. And I hear the fairies and Bubba are both like, we're here, we're here, we're here. Call on the fairies. Call on the Bubba energy. I've got to put a link to Bubba's channel. I feel like she's going to start amping it up. Anyway, Bubba's my familiar. If you don't know, she's amazing. She's a fucking awesome Maine Coon cat. And the fairies are saying, call on them, call on your spirit guides, call on the ancestors. They know this shit is fucking hard. A lot of them have done this before many times. You have done this many times. If you are here right now watching this, you have done this many times. But there's not many of us. That's why I don't have like a gazillion followers, because we're not that. We're leaders, man. We're not like a gazillion followers. We're fucking leaders. We are leaders who help each other, that we're, leaning on each other during this time. But at the same time, if Spirit's saying, but we cannot lean on others in a way that only we can heal our inner selves. Does that make sense? So if you're around people, places, or things that are stealing your shine, or not allowing you to be yourself, or be your fucking, whatever it is to you, then that's not where you need to be. And so I feel like this 1111 portal, I don't care if you have to work, fucking call in sick, and I never say shit like that. I'm not a doctor. Don't, you know what I mean? Nobody's fucking paying me to say this or whatever. I'm just saying, like, there's something really magical happening on this 1111 portal. And, ask if you can have the day off. I don't know. Do what you need to do. Or, do something special before work, or do something special after work on the 1111 portal. But find a meditation, whatever works for you, or just sit with Spirit by yourself. You'll know what to do. Research, look around, ask Spirit to send you signs. You'll know what to do. But it's time to get your spark back, right? It's time for all of us to get our spark back. And right before this played, right before I started this, David Bowie's Changes. And it was the 2015 remaster or something. So I don't know if that number means anything to you guys. But I feel like there's something there. And 2015, so that would be 8. Oh, the number 8. So the number 8's been coming up in infinity. I don't know if you guys keep seeing that, but very interesting. Was today an 8 day? There was something else that was around 8. I don't know. It'll come up. And then this new Taylor song, I never even heard it. I played on my shuffle, because she's in my shuffle, right? It plays on my shuffle, and I'm like, what is this song? But I want you all to have your own things around the music, because we're all different, and we're all going to have different triggers and different things that, give us what we need. So it's the new From the Vault, the 1989 Taylor's version album, and it's from the vault, meaning it wasn't on the original album, and it's so fucking good. But I can tell where it could be romance, it could be a family, it could be friends. It's a very interesting, beautiful song. So take it as it resonates with you. There's some great fucking dialogue, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if she's Jesus, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus is a woman. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to say it. Also, December 25th, it's not Jesus's birthday. It's his rebirth fucking day. I think some form of Jesus or some form of something is going to happen in the next 3 Christmases. December 25th. I'm telling you, it's either going to happen. I wrote down 12/25, 2023, but I don't know what that means. So it could be different for all of us, but I don't want to, I'm not, even though I could do predictions, I just know that we have free will, and I don't want to put anything out there. It's all different. So I'm just going to put out whatever's meant to be will be. Right? Whatever's in the greatest and highest good of all of us, I claim it for us, whatever that is, right? Because free will is free will. And then the first Noel, and I'm like, the first Noel, and I was like, what? I felt like the first song. So I only got a few seconds before this is going to run out. So that, and then the high road. And there's just some cool shit that's happening right now. And I don't know, it would make sense that it would be the divine feminine that would be the resurgence of the Christ consciousness. I'm just saying. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. I love you so much. Blessed be. Aho. Bye.